Welcome back, Rainmakers, to the Crypto Rain channel. I am your host, Jay Murph, and today we're going to talk about Wanchain. And I've been discussing some things with one of the developers behind Wanchain, a little bit about Wanswap and what's going on. So I wanted to cover Wanchain today. And there's some stuff I can tell you, and there's some stuff that I can't. But I did have a first look at something that is coming soon, and I think it's going to be big. And so I want to thank all of you for subscribing to my channel because you help make this possible. Now, I'm just a crypto investor myself. I started this channel because I knew that if I could provide good enough information to you, I would get people that subscribe to my channel, and together we could have access to some of the developers behind some of the projects most interesting, so that we can get a behind the scenes look at not necessarily private information, but information that hasn't hit the public consciousness. And so we got our first look today, and maybe in the future we'll be able to have one of them come on and speak with you directly. But I want to share with you some very good information about Wanchain that's exciting, and we're getting this information before just about everyone. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get this party started. Join me, Rainmakers. Alright, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, and here's what you'll get. I am an analytical person by nature. I think economics and psychology 24/7, whether I want to or not. So I might not be the most entertaining channel. I don't have a producer yet. As the channel grows, I will add that to help make it more entertaining. But for now, you get the way I think about things. Now, I've only been a crypto investor for 4 years. That isn't hugely long, but I did make some very valuable mistakes last cycle that I intend not to repeat this cycle, and learn some very valuable lessons. I have been investing in general for 20 years, and I like to think I'm very good. There's some people that pay me a lot of money to negotiate all of their real estate deals because I'm pretty darn good at real estate investing. However, 4 years isn't a huge amount of time in crypto investing, though I like to think I'm good. Apparently, I've made like over 100,000 plus from some bets I made on NBA Top Shots 6 months ago. In fact, I don't even know what those numbers are because I still have several packs to open. But it's ridiculous, and I suspected they would do well, and they did. Some of my other investments have done well too, but that one I've been talking a lot lately because NFTs are on everyone's mind. Why don't we talk about Wanchain? And yeah, there's going to be some NFT news related to Wanchain. Now, everything is about gaming and NFTs right now, and that cycle tends to not last for forever, even during a bull cycle. So what happens is there's little mini sub-cycles. And right now it's gaming and NFTs, and you've seen the Omi chain go crazy. You've seen GoChain related to it because Vivi is built on top of GoChain. You've seen NBA Top Shots go absolutely crazy. You've seen a lot of things, everything related to gaming and NFTs, go absolutely parabolic. Now, usually what happens is then that phase kind of ends and a lot of the focus moves to something else. And DeFi's been out of cycle now for not too long, but a little while. And definitely some layer 2 things have been on people's mind, like Polygon, also known as Matic, has been going crazy. And probably some sideways action for them. And one of the things that went absolutely parabolic not too long ago was Wanchain. Now, I first was discussing Wanchain back here. Now, unfortunately, my channel was brand new. I wish I'd had this channel even longer because I would have hooked you up with the NBA Top Shots picks, which I was buying last September, that have literally 500x'd. I didn't have a channel back then. I was just a regular investor. It wasn't till about that time I got frustrated because I was trying to reach out to some of the developers. I was not getting answers, not specifically to the Flow blockchain or NBA Top Shot, some other projects. And I decided I better start a YouTube channel because if I had a subscriber base of 50,000 or 100,000 or 200,000, everyone would answer my calls and messages. So that's why I started this channel. So hopefully I'm doing a good job adding value to you. I like to think I'm good at this. Not exceptional. I'm not always right. I'm just often right. Okay, so do know that this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing with you how I look at things and how I analyze them. And one of the things I'm looking at very heavily right now is Wanchain for two reasons. Number one, I did speak to one of the developers. There's some awesome things going on here, some that I can divulge and some that I can't. But what I can divulge is they are working on a layer 2 Ethereum scaling solution. They're very close to it. But what this is you'll still be like trading what you're used to on the Ethereum blockchain, but some of the processing will be handled behind the scenes with Wanchain's layer 2 scaling solution. So it'll, in essence, just save you a bunch on the fees on the Ethereum chain. And so I haven't seen exactly how that works, but the initial part will still have to transact on the Ethereum chain, but a lot of the costly stuff will happen behind the scenes. So say you go to swap something on the Ethereum chain. Right now you're paying, like if you're using like Uniswap, you're using multiple layers of fees. First of all, there is it transfers whatever it is into Ethereum, and then it buys something else, and there's some smart contract functionality that happens there. And so right now that total transaction may cost you $60 worth of Ethereum. But what this would allow it to do is maybe the cost would go from 60 down to $18 on Ethereum. Now, if Ethereum's new proposal goes in and it does reduce the cost like they're talking about, you know, maybe it would take those costs down even further. But say right now for the minimum parts of the transaction might go down to say $18. But if Ethereum does what they're supposed to and that works out, it might take the overall exchange cost down to maybe a couple bucks total. Wouldn't that be amazing? Because it's been months and months and months since we had $2 Ethereum fees. And, you know, the fees have gone absolutely ridiculous. So Wanchain was always built. I've been following Wanchain since the ICO. It's one of the projects I most love. And so that's why I talked about Wanswap. Now, hopefully you caught those videos. And, you know, if you decided it made sense for you, the numbers have been absolutely phenomenal. So you could have bought Wasp Token back then for 2 cents. Could have bought Wanchain back then for about 30 cents is I think the price it was at, and it since then has gone up a lot. Now it has been out of cycle for a little bit too, and you are seeing something I wanted to look at. Now we're just on the daily here, so what you saw here was a really big W, and then it actually came back down to this line, a little bit below this line, and then it started a parabolic run, and you can actually even see a second W in here where it kind of did the same thing. Now W's are often created, and I know that there's a technical term and I don't want to use it because W's just help people from a frame of reference visualize it so much easier. What W's usually have is some sharper peaks. What happens is the price spikes, but then people who have been holding for a long time decide I'm going to exit, and a bunch of people exit, and it drives the price back down sharply. But then you have these rounded bottoms, and these rounded bottoms are like momentum building up that then, like the rubber band analogy I use, and then one side gets let go and it springs into action. And so you really see that here, and then it goes boom. But I wanted to first delete all these drawings that I made so we can see with clarity. Zoom in closer here. Let's go to the 1 hour, and you're actually seeing a second cup and handle formation. And it's funny that some good news is going to be coming out about this soon. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some massive gains coming up. Now, do I know that massive gains will come up? No, I know some of the news that will come out related to Wanswap, and it's very exciting. There's going to be some upgrades coming out that are very market relevant. Have some NFT relations, and I did have a first look at it, and it's great, but other than that, I am sworn to secrecy. So if you're unfamiliar with what Wanswap is you can say buy Wanchain on two things. So if you're in the US, most of the states you can buy Wanchain on Kucoin, and there is a referral link below so you can get a Kucoin account. If you don't have a Kucoin account, go ahead and get one now because you'll need it. There are a lot of things on Kucoin that are helpful, and if you're outside the United States, you can get Binance account. Now, my understanding is if you're inside the United States and use a VPN, there's a chance you can get a Binance account. You won't be able to trade massive amounts because I think there's a low withdrawal limit if you don't go through the KYC, and you can't trade on leverage on Binance without doing the KYC, which I don't suggest trading on leverage anyway, unless you're a very advanced trader. So I've never tried to use Binance's leverage trading because Yeah, I'm not even ready for leverage trading because leverage trading is a great way to make money in a bull market. It's a great way to also lose all your money during a bull market when everything's going up. All it has to do is have one quick pullback and you could get wiped. So I don't do leverage trading. I did try an experiment with it, and last March I lost 1.3 Bitcoin. And since then, I have been out of leverage trading, realized I need to go back to school and learn a bunch more before getting back into leverage trading because spot trading I have done exceptionally well at. Leverage trading, man, after that kind of loss, I was like, ouch, that hurt too much. I am just going to continue spot trading where I am good at. All right, so Binance account, you can use my Binance link below, and if you use it, several of you have used it, it allows me to slide the slider bar to the right and give you up to 10% back on your own purchases, so on your own trading fees, and that's the max it will allow me. So if you use that, you will get up to 10% back, and it gives me a little bit too, which is great. It's a win-win for both of us. All right, so Kucoin, I do suggest if you don't have it, get one. And Binance, if you don't have it, get one. You can buy Wanchain there. Now, whether you buy it, that's really on you. I'm buying some more myself. I'm taking profits on some of the things that have done absolutely great, and I am and will be buying more Wanchain because I think, well, I'm really liking what I see here. I also am liking the news that's going to be coming out on that. So back to Wanswap, if you haven't used it, you can get, so this is a MetaMask wallet. You can get from what are they called? From using Google Chrome, you can get the Wanmask wallet, and it operates just like MetaMask, and so you can get a Wanmask wallet, and then you can send your Wanchain to this, and it operates just like what you're used to on MetaMask. So it's showing my Wasp that I've harvested here, and so here you can swap between Wanchain and any of these tokens. So these are like wrapped Bitcoin, wrapped ETH, wrapped Link, wrapped O Bitcoin. I don't know what the difference between those two are. One USD, etc. Wrapped one Link. And so basically you can have these. The transaction fees on this are ridiculously low. So of all the different things, this has some of the lowest trading fees, which is really cool. And so this you can swap into something. Say you could swap it into one Bitcoin and you could get some one Bitcoin. Now, I imagine there is liquidity for this. I think my processing is just happening slow on my computer right now. Yeah. So there's plenty of liquidity. I could get some one Bitcoin. I'm not in this case because I already have some. And then you can go over to pool and farming. Now I've got farming going on, and if you see here, here's all the different farming. So what you have to do to add liquidity is you can add liquidity through the pool, and then you figure out, like, you want to put Wanchain plus, say, one Bitcoin, and then I don't have any one Bitcoin right now in here. I do actually have some farming for me, but you can add liquidity through here, and then you go over to the farming section, and then you want to manage, and you want to deposit and add there. Now, if you see on the farming tab, so this is kind of like Uniswap combined with some other things all in one, so that you can do some simple farming here. And the APYs are pretty good, and what they pay out is in Wasp Token. So I do want to share with you the risks and the rewards. The rewards are pretty good. These APYs are pretty good, and it farms a lot of Wasp for you every day. So I've been involved in this for about a month and a half. Now, is this high risk? Well, kind of. Some of the developers are connected to the actual Wanchain team, but the other developers are community members with programming background that have developed this. But for the most part, they're anonymous. And so with anonymous, that happens a lot in the yield farming space and in the DeFi space, just because mostly they're worried about regulators from a few of the countries, namely China, the US, and a few others. And so they just would prefer to keep their identities anonymous. Well, what's the problem with anonymity? Well, if they have some backdoor rug pull and disappear with your money, you don't know who to go track down, right? And so the regulators don't either. So just know that the returns on this are pretty good. But I mean, even though I've spoke to one of the developers, we don't know if they're going to rug pull it sometime. Now, I know I felt comfortable about this enough. I have tens of thousands of dollars worth of WAN and Wasp in here. So I don't think they're going to rug pull or anything. In fact, they're putting so much effort into what they continue to develop and stuff. That shows me some signs that, my investment was well placed. And so I'm going to be putting even more into this, but make the decision for yourself and just know what the risks and rewards are behind it. You can see here, this shows you like how much volume and liquidity is being added. So notice how this keeps going up over time. When I started, I think it was back here, maybe about here, and more people are discovering this, continue to add liquidity. I mean, the unfortunate part for all of us is that means that the returns, as far as we get with the Wasp token, go down, but that's okay. Still, it pays out pretty good, so I'm earning 1,521 Wasp per week here and almost 2,000 Wasp per week. So let's just round that to 3,500 Wasp per week, and let's look at what the price of the Wasp token is, 22 cents. So 3,500 times 0.22, so $770 per week passive income that's coming in. Now, it's not actual income till I sell that and I put it back in someplace safe, but for now I've kept a lot of this rolling and trusting that it doesn't get a rug pull on it. And usually the rug pulls often happen by now, if they're going to happen, but you never do know for certain. I did really enjoy the chat with one of the developers. I like their connection to the actual Wanchain team, because the Wanchain team knows who these developers are, and so it's not like they have full anonymity. They just have anonymity from the public sector, but the Wanchain people know exactly who these people are, and that's why I felt comfortable enough putting my money over here. If they were completely anonymous, I probably wouldn't have. All right, I know that's a long and dry explanation of this, hopefully somewhat informative. I'll bring you more updates as I can share with you about what's going on. I think that'll drive Wan's price higher if it comes out like I think it's going to. And I think what they're doing is pretty darn cool. There's some gamification of farming going on and some things NFT related. So the first look of it was pretty impressive. And so if they deliver on the back end, which honestly they did very good with Wanswap. It has functioned very well since the very early days since I've been here, and so I've been very pleased with their technical capabilities and capacity, as well as when they put this all together. They were ahead of so many other things that have now kind of copied this model too, but they tend to stay on the cutting edge, and they tend to get to the next step before most other people do, and this next step coming is looking pretty cool. So hope you like it. I hope this is helpful to all of you. I do want to thank all of you rainmakers that have followed me and been supportive, and if you haven't already, if you would give me a like on this, that helps the channel grow, and as the channel grows, I will continue to get more backstage access, getting what I'm most interested in, which is that non-private information that I can share with you. Now, if they do happen to share with me private information, that's great. I will keep it confidential if they request it. I will share with you always as much as I can. But when they share with me private information, even when I can't share it with you, it does impact my excitement level. And so sometimes you can see that. And even if I can't give you the specifics on it. So thanks so much, everyone, for joining me. You rainmakers out there, you're amazing. And if you're new to this channel and you want to subscribe and join us to join the rainmakers, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and give me likes on the videos, and you're part of the team. Thanks so much. Bye.